the students in engineering are not just in like one box. Like we're not just engineering students, we're like Black engineering students, we're queer engineering students, we're fluid engineering students. So just highlighting the fact that like EngiQueers is going to try to really create spaces where voices who have usually been silenced can find a space and hold space.
Like for me, about like empowerment and like seeing, I don't know, because growing up, like you see so many ideas of like what it means to be an engineer, and like I just never saw myself in that, and I never like thought this was something like I would be able to do. I saw like, oh, gay men can be like hairstylists or like interior designers, and like that's it. Or like maybe in like theater coaches, like I don't know, like I never saw myself like being like technical and like using like math and like the things that I always liked. But
again, like what Ezra said, like empowering and just like shows the resiliency of our community to like come together and say like we're here, we are engineers and we're queer and we're also XYZ, like these this is what it means to be an engineer, like this is what it looks like. It can look like anything, and I think it takes a lot of courage to be able to do that in spaces where you're mostly kind of like told to not talk about things like this.
Sure, like I don't know, I think like a lot of people, myself included, like going into first year, I had like such a different image of like what it meant to be like gay and like participating in queer spaces. So I think like just really opening up, like like all of our events, like you're fully like welcome to come if you're an ally, like if you're like in the closet, if you're figuring yourself out, like nobody has anything figured out in life, like so I think like just opening it up, just be like everyone is welcome, this is an inclusive space.
I think this year, I guess, like as Ezra said, like Mustafa and I are really trying to focus that uplifting and advocacy specifically for the queer BIPOC community. I think it's because it's important that we have conversations about like racism in the queer community, because it's like important to discuss the intersectionalities of being like a queer person, but also being a white queer person, understanding that you have privilege but you're also oppressed, and how you use that privilege to help the people who are, because like it's a fact in our society that there's hierarchies based on your color, your skin. So there are levels of oppression that we all need to kind of think about. I think that is what EngiQueers is trying to aim to focus on, like with our initiatives, is like there are underrepresented groups in engineering, and they need to know that there's a space for them, and there's people who look like them who are advocating for their lives. So we really want to create spaces where they can come together outside of the gaze of their oppressors, and come together and kind of like be a community. So that's kind of like the hope.
We're really trying to focus more on like intersectionality in every aspect of that this year.
They're just spaces where we can come together and just do like regular chill things, but like you're in a space where you're doing it like with people who really care about who you are and are trying to uplift who you are. So like even if it's just a Lego night, it's a Lego night where like queer people can come take up space in a safe, supportive environment, and I think that's powerful, even if it's just like playing with Lego. So working on change, and we want to hire more people of all types, so we have all voices on the conversation, because right now it's like two guys. Ezra pointed this out in our last meeting, that it's like three guys in a Zoom chat trying to figure out what EngiQueers is going to look like. So
thesis man, ooh, diversity.